What do you think of a story about a small-town boy in Podunk, Idaho, who goes to the big city, a naive little boy, and comes back an overexposed man? In less than 2 years, he comes back to Idaho, a disease-infested individual drenched in disappointment and failure. So he thinks. He's actually radiating a great energy, a positive, influential awareness to all with an open ear.
Hi, my name is Duane, and I'm HIV positive. I know you're wanting to know, well, how did I get infected? And my answer is, does it matter? What does it care? What does it matter if I went out, had a one-night stand with a guy or a girl, or shot up drugs, or got a blood transfusion? The whole thing doesn't matter. There's risks involved in which you get HIV. And now I have HIV, and now I have to deal with it. And you could get HIV, and you have to deal with it. It doesn't matter how you got it. The fact is, you have it, and you have to deal with it.
I'm not just another person with HIV. I'm a man with HIV, a son with HIV, a brother with HIV, a grandson, and a nephew with HIV. I am your best friend.
Some people accepted it right off, and others had more problems with it, and I think that was with everybody, with friends too, that all the friends never really knew how to act at first.
As for the community, we don't advertise it, we don't hide it, and if we're asked, we are very honest about it, that it's not something that's right out there put first.
He's more of an outcast now. They don't understand it, so I don't know, it's like they push him away, and it's not fair to him. I mean, he's still the same person he was.
You are right to think you are better than it. We all are. But you are wrong to think you are too good for it.
Anyone can become infected. Your age, gender, social class, and sexual orientation will not protect you.
Did you ever think your friends or family would be affected by HIV?
No, never. Nobody thinks that it's going to happen to them, but when it does, you deal with it. I mean, it's reality.
I got to thinking about what it meant that I was HIV positive. And then I thought of my mom, and I thought of having to tell my mom that I had HIV.
How did you respond to him when he told you that he was HIV positive?
Just gave him a hug.
Did he hug you back?
Yes. And then he apologized for killing my oldest son.
Well, that's very hard. But I loved him. It didn't make no difference to me.
It was a little devastating. I was surprised. I wasn't, expecting something like that. And it was awkward, but he's still my brother, and I still look up to him the same way, so.
I don't know if it was a normal reaction or not. I just gave him a hug and told him he was still my Duane, and we'd deal with it.
I just remember him telling me. I didn't know exactly quite what it was or whatnot, so I just kind of blew it off until later on, until I actually realized what it was.
My mom looked at me and asked me what song I'd like to hear at my funeral. I lost it. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, Mom, this is way too soon to be talking about this. But it wasn't. It was a reality. We had to think about what would happen if I were to die. What would happen if I were to get sick and die? And because we didn't really know a lot about it, that's all we knew. So that's all we thought about at first.
I mean, we knew it was out there, and that was about it, and how to prevent it, but you don't really know anything about the disease unless you have to deal with it, I guess.
I try not to ponder on it or think on it. I mean, it's there, it's always going to be there, and it's the rest of his life and our life.
I'm sure he was very disappointed in me because I was his boy. I was better than all that. So it was kind of hard for him to, I think it was hard for both of us to even realize that we were in this situation. We didn't know how to deal with it.
He's always been with his mom, and it's always been Mom. Now that this has happened, I'm being there, and I'm going to be there, no matter how it goes. And he knows that.
I am almost numb, though it seems, feeling nothing but overwhelmed and fear, confusion, frustration, and lost, not knowing a single thing and reaching out at every angle, but not really knowing what it is I am reaching for, not knowing what I want or knowing what it is wanting with me, just reaching out with my eyes closed and every part of me not being able to function that way it would to reach out, to stretch out and grab what I am reaching for, and then I embrace it all for me, to have it engulf me with itself. As of December 31, 2001, there was 816,149 people living in the United States with HIV and AIDS, and 467,910 deaths had occurred.
What do you feel was most damaged by Duane's infection with HIV?
Duane's quality of life. His goals in life. He had set high goals for him, really high, and when he found out, I think it kind of crushed him, but as the years have went through, he's like, I'm not going to die from this. I'm going to keep going.
Maybe his self-esteem?
I guess it was his life. I mean, how can I say damage? I mean, I don't see damage. We're still living, things are still going. I mean, our relationship got better. I mean, I don't see any damage. I mean, outside of him being sick, and you can't see that now either. So it ain't changed. It ain't.
Again, I think it's really hard for everybody to really comprehend that I'm sick. I mean, I look good. I'm taking on the world, and I just have such a, I try to have a good personality about things. So it's really hard to see that somebody's suffering from this or dealing with this, and it's all good, but it's not. It sucks, but it's like you can still get past it, and you can go on and just kind of make the best of a bad thing. Just make the best of it.
There will be a time, I guess, when he'll become sick, and I want him to know that I'll be there to kick him in the behind, keep him going.
Approximately 40,000 new infections occur each year in the United States. 50% are under the age of 25.
Why me and HIV? I don't know. I don't know why me.
Why can't I do it? Why can't I overcome it? Why can't I love it for all it is? Why can't I open my eyes and see it? Why can't I reach out and touch it? Why can't I lay my head up to it and listen to what it has for me? Why can't I bite into its sweet juices? Why can't I feel it? And why do I long for it? Why do I need to know it? Why does it make me? Why is it me? I am just me in search of me.
I didn't feel like I had HIV, I guess. I felt great. And I took these pills, and like a week later, I was so sick. It was horrible. I lost all my jobs in a matter of like 2 weeks. I couldn't get out of bed. I was stuck in bed for 23 hours of the day. Half the time I didn't know what day it was, what time it was, when I was supposed to take my pills again. If I had just taken my pills, I didn't know if do I take 3 green triangles and 4 blue diamonds or 5 white ones? It was just so confusing. And then when I was on the medications, I was so drugged up that it was really hard to even realize what was going on, let alone trying to be so precise on making sure I took the pills at the right time and took the right amount and ate with it what I was supposed to or not. And then I had to deal with side effects, vomiting and diarrhea and sleeping all the time. And it was rough. I didn't even feel like I was a person anymore. I was just so messed up from the meds that it just wasn't me.
It's a lot of medication, and it's very expensive, and they have to take it so many times a day. And some people I know, they have to take like 50, 75 pills a day, and then you got to deal with all the side effects. And I do work with medicine, and side effects with medicine is just unbelievable.
For the most part, Duane is smart enough that he calls his mom, and they work it out together. if he made the decisions himself, it's really emotional. It's really hard because he knows what he has to go through. So I think the fact that he gets another opinion helps a lot.
You just really have to weigh it out, and you have to figure out, and you have to see how the medications are going to affect you. But don't just think that if you get HIV, you're going to take these pills and everything's going to be all right and you're going to live longer and la-di-da-di. No, it's just a really rough choice, and you really don't know what's going to work for you, if anything's going to work for you.